Hi everyone, Daniel here. Thank you for tuning in to this video and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you all. I figured I'd do something a little bit different this time around in terms of my model layout, FROME Parkway. What you're seeing here is a model railway which was actually given to me by the family of a former YouTuber, train spotter, Somerset Andy, who unfortunately is no longer with us. However, I have made it my mission to not only preserve his railway, but to complete his creation. And I like to think that I have now completed it and done everything I need to do. There are a few more small things need doing, but that depends on like motion and movement of the model railway itself. However, in the meantime, in the spirit of the holiday season, I really wanted to do something special to this model railway that I tried to do last year but couldn't quite do, and give it a festive deck out. I figured that it would be just appropriate to just give it some life, give it some color, and I thought it would be a good chance to show you some tips and tricks on how you can actually add loads to your model railway on a budget, so you don't need to buy all the scaled things or models, but you can do if you want to. But I can show you some ways to do it cheaper and make it more fun and festive, and I just thought it would be a fun little hobby to keep me occupied during the festive season, so that's what I did. Hopefully you can take this video away and you can find ways to add some festive spirit to your model layout. So I started over at St. Andrew's Castle, and I was kind of thinking about what I could do to decorate it, because you know, like when you go to a National Trust or an English Heritage Area, they always deck their halls of any like old house or castle. Now, interestingly enough, I actually had some rainbow lights already around it. To be honest with you, I was just a bit too lazy and couldn't be asked to put them away, but I figured it'd be perfect for this time around anyway, because you want to add color to the castle, make it festive, make it whimsical, and that's what I did. I started with these. These are $2.99 each at Otter's Garden Center, where I got them. They're little Christmas trees that you would put around a Christmas village made by Lemax. And although typically Lemax don't make things to a 00 scale, if you were to use Lemax, it'd probably be closer to a G scale in my opinion, but these were just about right. I started by trying to put them outside the front of the castle, and they looked nice, but I thought I could do better. So after a bit of jigging, a little bit of reconstructing, I was kind of thinking about it, and I remembered I had some leftover decorations from last year which I didn't bother to use, which would be perfect for this project. So to that, there were a couple things in here. So let's see, you've got a couple ribbons. One of those will go on top of the castle nicely, I figured. There's also some random string lights. I didn't use the Santa Claus ones, but I did use the gingerbread man ones that I'll be bringing out in a sec. There we go. And I found 2 silver nutcrackers, which I thought would stand guard at the front, and I thought that would be very appropriate. So taking all that stuff, it honestly looks so much better. The trees are overlooking the wall, and it just makes an amazing entrance to a festive house of wonders and curiosities. To apply the ribbon, I used some white tack. Now, I would recommend using blue tack because it does leave residue. White tack doesn't. White tack can very easily come off. And just look at that! Doesn't that look whimsical already? And here's what I did with the gingerbread man lights. I put them around platform 1. I hadn't actually decided whether this is platform 1 or not. I think I'm going to make it platform 1 because it is the main entrance. That's pretty typical. But yeah, that's how I kind of started, just trying to put things here or there to see what works, what doesn't, and that's kind of what you do. It's about playing around. But this is the one I had the most trouble with. This is a $12.99 Lemax light up huge tree. And this is where it gets a bit more pricey, but I think it's worth it. What I like about Lemax is that if you want, you can either use the battery pack and just put batteries in it, or you can plug in a transformer or a plug and just use it that way, depending on what you prefer. So it's very open-ended and very accessible. I don't have very many plugs, so I just stuck with batteries for now, plus I'm not going to have them out all the time. This one took 3 AA batteries. Okay, not a problem, pretty easy, pretty standard. Just take out the little screw, plug in the batteries. They all face the same way for some reason. I don't think it really matters too much, but I'm used to it being crisscross or opposite ends, if you know what I mean. But again, it's just a minor thing to talk about. Honestly, I was very impressed with how it looked. I just knew it's going to add some color to the station platform. Or so I thought. As you can see, I kind of struggled to find somewhere to put it. First, I thought about putting it on platform 2. Wasn't going to happen. Then I thought about maybe, putting it on the end of platform 1. Absolutely not. I was a bit crestfallen, but then I remembered there was a little square I didn't use in the garden area, so I just put it there, and honestly, it does add that much needed color. And the best part is I can just hide the battery pack on the little drawer my dad built underneath the table. I really wanted to use this Brunel Christmas ornament I got last time at the West Somerset Railway, but I couldn't really think of anything to do with him. So I thought I'd just hang it on my calendar. At least put it to some good use. Looking spiffy up there, Brunel. These lights were faulty. I realized early on that there was something wrong with the battery pack. It just wasn't clamping down very well. You had to press it in, and there was just a bit of faulty wiring in there. It wasn't actually that hard to fix. I just had to sort of bend a small strip back into place, and yeah, it just started lighting up like it should have. And I think it really added some subtle depth to the church. If you were to go somewhat pricey, you could definitely buy these unique 00 scale models. The first one I really got sold on. It's a Christmas tree wrapping station by Boughs. And it comes with wrapped up trees and a wrapping station. And so I work in a shop and we have a garden center, and my favorite job at Christmas is wrapping up the Christmas trees for the customers. So that's quite sentimental to me. I got Santa Claus with a couple kids with his sack. Going to put that in front of Frome Railway Centre, the little heritage section of the layout. And there's a few more trees and customers, just basically a tree selling scene, which will go perfectly next to the wrapping station. I just thought it would flush it out too. Now, to be honest, I was disappointed because a lot of these sets come with these small sections you have to snap off, like the old models and stuff, and it was really hard to work with because although most of it was fine, a lot of the models just the legs kept snapping on the steel guardrail, and I was just getting really annoyed because I was being really delicate with it. It's small pieces of plastic, so you cannot realistically get it off without causing some issue, and I was just really frustrated. I wasn't expecting that kind of thing. I was expecting much better quality, to be honest. I don't know why. I mean, I could stand up on its own, but I knew I wanted to reinforce it. But then I had an idea. So, like I've done with the human figurines and some of the trees, I took some clear plastic packaging. You could use any packaging from an old box you bought, something that's hard and sturdy, nothing flimsy. You need something hard, hard, clear plastic. Cut a little square, apply some PVA glue, stick it down and leave it. And just like that, your figurines will stand tall and proud. And this totally fixed the issue. Yes, you can see the big ones, but you're not going to see it all the time around. It's not going to be out all the year. This was more of a quick fix for me, and maybe I'll buy another one next year, but this just did the job for now. But where to put it? Well, next to the garage, there was a section I forgot to clean up, and it looks like foliage. I figured it looked like the nettles that fall off of a Norway spruce or a Fraser fir. So I thought, just put it there. The trees themselves are just these little pieces of what looked to be like green fluff wrapped in some sort of netting casing, and it does look quite authentic, I will say. But look at that. It just, I don't know, it took me back to going to work and being out with the trees. And honestly, I will say this, being out with the smell of the Christmas trees is good for your mental health. It's perfect serotonin. And I was just so pleased with how, I think this was my favorite section. Not just because I used like actual scaled things, but because it just felt sentimental. Santa's looking a little bit bored, and I'm guessing the kids are bored too, because there's no like real decoration. You know what Frome Railway Centre needs? A tree! If I'm being honest, this tree is not very good quality. This was a very cheap decoration from Asda. It's actually a hanging ornament. I just took off the string and I managed to find a random star lying about in my parents' Christmas decorations box, and I just plopped it on top of that. And yeah, it honestly does look pretty okay. Yeah, it's huge. Very oversized compared to the station, but I like it. I also found some cheap ribbon. I think it's like £1, £1.50. I can't remember exactly where I got it from, but I figured it would be perfect to wrap around the pannier tank that I have at the railway centre, you know, to give special Christmas charges or Santa specials, you know, like at Heritage Railway. So it's a bit fiddly, and I tried to make sure I didn't get it in the way of the wheels or anything. It's not going to look pretty, but I just figured it would just be colourful. Overall, the finished product, again, it's not pretty, but it doesn't have to be. It just looks festive and whimsical. Makes you wonder why they don't make scaled Christmas decorations for different model railways, and not just like the trees and the Santas and all that. But again, if you find things that are cheap and you work with it and know how to work with it, you can make something look magical. I also did the Andrew Barclay as well. Give that some color. I still have plans to turn this Barclay into Lady Nan. I just need to learn how to take it apart without breaking it. I remember I spoke in a previous video how I had to kind of send off for a new part and they had it fixed, which whatever, again, it's fine. I had some leftover ribbon, so I put some over platform 2 to give it some color, and I wrapped it around the tree at the railway centre. And you can just find anything lying around in boxes, like odd scraps of tinsel just lying around, cut them into the appropriate sizes, and you could just dart them around different buildings. Like I put some in front of the garage just to give it some festive flair, and around the signal box. These are necklaces. The first ones were candy canes I got last year, and this year I got some that look like old retro Christmas lights, and these were £1 each from Proper Job, and they're just about the right size for what I wanted to do, and they look amazing. They look almost authentic. They don't all light up, but some of them do, and it's just about the right glare. The candy canes came with these earrings which I put around the tree to just give it some ornaments. So as you can see, I've wrapped the candy canes around the engine shed, and here's the lights. Speaking of lights, let's flick the big ones off and let's have a look at this railway. I love what I've done here. I know it doesn't look neat or tidy, but that's the whole point. Christmas isn't about being neat or tidy, it's about being whimsical, spontaneous, and festive, and I still think what I got here does look ordered and looks really cheery and just charming. And trains are synonymous with the Christmas period. You know, traveling home for the holidays, the Santa specials at the Heritage Railways, the special mainline charters, you know, all the trains I've seen this year, like Mayflower, Eddystone, all that. And that's what Christmas means to me. Just sometimes it's nice to do these fun little things, even if they don't look serious. That's the whole point. Just enjoy it and do fun with it while you can. I just also want to end this video by saying a massive thank you to all of you for not just watching this video, but for engaging in my channel. All the new friends I've made, all the new places I've been to, all the new experiences I've tried, honestly, that I never figured I would do, honestly, for being able to engage with you guys and to do all this has just filled my heart with joy, and I cannot wait for 2026 to do much more of this. Until then, I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. I hope you and your family and friends all enjoy the festivities, and I'll see you all in 2026 down the line.